Welcome to the MWA podcast, the space where we celebrate the incredible Muslim women who are shaping our communities, breaking barriers and making history. I'm Sadia Mahmood, your host, and joining me today is someone who is truly special to us. She was able to elevate the awards, turn us into a bit of an Oprah, where she gave away a holiday. So we have the Queen of Travel here with us, Sadia from Muslim Women Travel Group. Thank you so much, Sadia.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me. It's really exciting.
Thank you so much for making the time. Busy. I know you squeezed us in today, so I do appreciate you.
I did, hence the casual attire. But it's okay. At least it's very casual. It's me and you. It's a chat. So alhamdulillah, you get the real Sadia.
Yeah, and then I remember I was saying to you, I was in North London. It's a bit far because we're not too far from each other at home. So you were like, no, I'm always in East. So North London's not that far.
I am in East. I'm actually an East Londoner. I grew up in East London. Yeah, East London's home. I married a snob, unfortunately, and I moved to Northwest, and I couldn't convince him to come to East. So I now live in Northwest. But alhamdulillah,
Welcome
I like it.
to Northwest.
Thank you. It's all right,
where the snobs live. We have a lot of greenery over there.
You do have a lot of greenery, and I actually really like it, to be fair. What I don't miss about East London is the traffic, the congestion. But East London is home in terms of like friends, family. I'm a people's person. I love people, and I miss being able to just sit on someone's sofa, like my mum's sofa. I miss sitting on my sister's sofa and just having a cup of tea and not having conversation. Because with your new friends, you have to have conversation.
So true. And I think that, do you know what? Very true. I remember exactly that. It's like when you're really comfortable with someone, you don't need to talk.
Yeah.
Do you know? And the silence is not awkward.
Yeah.
How many siblings did you grow up with?
So I am one of six. We're 5 girls, 1 boy. So sorry, let me rephrase that. Five girls and 1 king. Because that's how we grew up. But alhamdulillah, we fixed him.
Where does the king fall?
He's second in line.
Okay.
I'm third, so I suffer from middle child. Yeah. But I share middle child syndrome because we're 6.
Yes, you
So there's 2 of us that were lost in the middle. But listen, middle children are all right, you know.
I'm a middle child.
Yeah, they go on to do all right.
Yeah, we're all right.
Yeah.
I feel like all the good things come to us.
Eventually. Eventually.
It's because we have to fight for it.
100%.
Yeah, it's because we have to fight for it. So now you've been surrounded by women then.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess this is about the travel group, right? And how we came about is, I guess I'm surrounded by women, my sisters. But then as you grow older, life changes. And your sisters who you do everything with, they're popping out babies, one's doing something or another. And I guess there was this gap. It was an accidental gap. I didn't go out looking for it. I guess I recognised that there was women who wanted to have someone to travel with. And where I'd always travel with my sisters, I now started going, well, look, do you want to come with me? And we kind of just started this accidental group where women were just travelling with me because they had no one. And then I guess you learn a lot more. And I didn't know how lonely it is for women who don't have sisters. And I didn't realise that they were missing that in their life. And actually, this created by accident. It happened purely by chance. But alhamdulillah, we created this bit of a travel network, a travel sisterhood. And so we've got women to travel with. So it's group travel, essentially, but for Muslim women.
But where did Sadia come from? What was your background like? Where'd you go to school? You said you're an East London girl, but what part of East London?
So good old Walthamstow, which back then was the hood. Now it's super hipster. You can't go down to Walthamstow if you don't, enjoy sourdough and all of those things. So yeah, I grew up in Waltham Forest, went to an all-girls school. We lived in East London our whole lives, but actually my mum grew up in Scotland. So we would travel up to Glasgow quite a lot.
Oh, wow.
I can do a really good Scottish accent.
Oh, my God. Say murder.
What, murder?
Yeah.
But also, I can speak like Mrs. Doubtfire. Okay, sweeties. We went back and forth from Glasgow. But generally, I'm a Londoner.
Why is your mum's side of the family in Glasgow?
Yes, my mum. Okay. My mum is. That's where she grew up, and that's where all like my aunts and stuff.
Oh, wow.
My father was a Londoner. But London's been home my whole life. I've left London several times, actually.
To go where?
Yeah, well, I always think I want to set up life somewhere else.
Oh my God, please tell me, because I always feel like I want to set up life somewhere else.
I did it up north, and I realised it wasn't for me. I needed to come back to
north?
Middle, Manchester.
Okay.
So Manchester's cool. Manchester's hip. But I came back. I left for the UAE, but I came back. But for me, what I like about London is the diversity. I like the fact that everything's at our fingertips. I like everything about it. I don't enjoy the traffic, but swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's one of the things I love about London is that it's so diverse. You'll find everyone and everything.
Yeah, and us Londoners, we're really spoiled. We don't actually leave London because we have everything we need.
Everything's here.
From food to events to the
travel.
people. honestly, we have everything. We are so spoiled. As soon as I step outside of London, I can see women are craving for, networks and events and things like that. And I'm just like, we don't go anywhere because we have it on our doorstep.
I know. And we're so privileged. But then again, we're so privileged to another extreme where we refuse to go up there, because we do get a demand for us as well to do something up north. And we do want to. We are going to start expanding and we want our northern sisters to be able to get involved. But I do agree, it is lonely.
Yeah.
So London's the best for you then?
London is home for now.
Okay.
I don't think this is going to be the plan long term. There's so many other beautiful places in the world, but for now, London is still home. It's just the perfect place to be for what I do.
So what did you study, Sadia?
Funny enough, I didn't study travel at all. I fell into travel by accident as an adult, and I had to learn everything the hard way. So I guess when you set up a business, maybe this is the best way to do it, is when you learn, and you have to learn for yourself.
Learn on the job.
Absolutely, because no one helps you, because everyone's so worried about you taking away from them, even though the world is huge and there's lots of people.
It's
and
that scarcity mindset, isn't it?
So I learned the whole travel stuff on the job as I went along. Alhamdulillah, it's great. I can't complain.
What did you study?
So I studied early years and childcare and child psychology. Yeah, my background is totally different.
Where were we going with that?
No, but I still work in that field.
Okay. Day jobs in that field.
I still work in that field. And I guess social care, I'm passionate about supporting young families. I'm passionate about helping families, making sure that they stay together. So that kind of nurturing, caring role is still there, and I still do that. Also, alhamdulillah, I've worked really hard within that sector. I'm in a nice senior position and the money is good. Life is good.
Mashallah.
I will leave it at some point to focus on the travel fully.
What does your day job look like though?
So it's a 9 to 5, but because when you're in senior management, you have the flexibility. I mean, I don't think I've ever turned up to work at 9 o'clock in my life, but I don't think I finished at 5 either.
Okay.
So and I do take my work home sometimes, but I'm more in kind of like strategy and putting things, that much more strategic development and establishing things. Whereas I'm not kind of like, on the job in terms of caseworking or like looking after families directly. I have staff. I mean, I manage managers. So alhamdulillah, that makes it a lot more easier.
And you were able to climb in that? Did you start off managing managers or?
No, I started off, really basic. Like I did early years work.
Can you break it down to me? Is it social work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not a social worker.
You're not a worker.
No, I don't hold the registration. So I'm not a social worker, but that's exactly what it is. Early intervention work to kind of support families, to make sure that cases, whether it's child in need, child protection, to kind of really, look after families, bring them back down to where they need to be. Anyone can accidentally fall onto the child in need plan. There's families who have got children with disabilities. So there might be a vulnerable child, a vulnerable family. So they're a child in need. It doesn't mean the parenting is not good. The parenting is fantastic, probably even more so. But that child is vulnerable. So it's just making sure that they have the correct support when they need it, and to be able to help that family through that journey.
Do you feel like not enough people actually access your role, so basically access social workers in the right way? Because I feel like when we think of social work and all of that, it gets our guard up, because we're thinking, okay, as you said, we feel like we're doing something wrong, we're doing something bad.
No, to this day, if you ask one of my sisters what my job is, she'll say Sadia likes to break up families, which is awful. No, I know. It's just so evil, because there's this misconception that that's what social work does, or any kind of like local authority. Don't get me wrong, there's always going to be people that throw their weight around, but the majority of people in this role are doing their absolute best to kind of really keep families together. There is so many pressures on families in terms of, let's take finance out of it. That's huge, right? The cost of living, all of that. But things like parenting capacity, where you're working, 2 jobs, and then you've got to come home, be there for your children, all the pressures around, get them through, the 7+, get them through 11+, get them through GCSEs. There's all of those pressures. There's societal pressures now, growing up with kind of social media. So all the parents now have to manage their own social medias, as well as manage for their children. I just think the parenting capacity has been so stretched. There's so much pressure on women. So I guess we do anything we possibly can. And we haven't even thrown in things like mental health, emotional well-being of yourself and for your children. For most women, they might be carrying their partners, but they're not talking about it. There's a hell of a lot of stuff. But I think people aren't taking these roles because actually they're hard work. Look, everybody just wants to be an influencer. I mean, so do I. We all just want to be a blogger. I just want free stuff.
It's a heavy title. It's a heavy job to have, right? Because I don't think there's a lot of... I know I have a friend of mine who's just trained to be a social worker, And to be honest, I've seen how heavy it is on her. She loves what she does and she
Yeah.
loves that she can help. But it's a heavy role. It's like nursing. It's like anything of these jobs that you end up taking home with you regardless.
No, definitely. And also it takes such a long time to climb that ladder. It's hard. I don't see enough women in management. I don't see enough Muslim women in senior management. And I've been in a couple of local authorities. I'm in one that's in central London at the moment. The most affluent borough of
Okay.
London. But that doesn't mean it doesn't come without problems. What I'm saying is I'm not seeing that. I'm still seeing older white men and then maybe some women. And alhamdulillah, there's some black women who have done some fantastic, but I don't see Muslims. I don't.
How did you climb?
Oh gosh, should I tell you what? I'm not actually where I want to be.
Okay.
I could have been a lot further, but I got tired. No,
Fair
mentally, I got
Fair
tired
enough,
mentally,
yeah.
and also I started my career late. Because I was also a young mum. So when you're a mum, you prioritize everything. So I put everything on hold and I did whatever work I could. I was a dinner lady, believe it or not, because it worked well for me. It was like
Exactly, around
11,
the kids.
no, it was 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., 2 p.m. or something, and it worked well. And everyone was like, why are you doing this? But you have to do what you have to
works.
do
So
because that's
true.
what I needed for my child at the time. So I probably didn't climb hard enough or fast enough. But alhamdulillah, I'm okay where I am now. And there is an appetite, a slight appetite. I get told all the time, actually, can you step in and do this? Or can you do head of service? Or can you be director? And I actually don't have the capacity to do it anymore because of the travel business and because of
Okay.
other commitments outside of that.
Because you're building outside of that as well, right?
I
This
am.
is your daytime job. But I do want, because now I'm thinking about it, if I was in that role and then I had the pleasure of being able to ask you, so what steps should one take to become in senior management? Because you were saying there's not enough sisters in that role. So I know
Yeah.
you have to push yourself and all, but what steps would you recommend?
I mean, all the kind of things that we probably don't get told enough, whoopsie. Find yourself a mentor within the workplace.
Okay.
Make sure people are aware of your passion. Don't shy away. Make sure people know that you want to. And if people are threatened by that, then that's them issue. But I think people need to know that actually this is great. I love what I'm doing, but I'd be interested in actually being a senior. I'd be interested in being a manager. If you don't voice it, people aren't going to consider you for it. And also, if you have not necessarily flaws, but if you have challenges or you have areas of that need developing, they're going to help source that out for you because that's what any good manager would do. When I see my staff and I think actually she'd be great, but she doesn't have X, Y, and Z, I'll put them on a course. I'll give them the support that they need, or I'll partner them up with somebody so they're being, they can shadow someone. But I think you have to be vocal about it. You can't. There's this thing around, I mustn't tell anybody what I want to do. I do. When you say it out loud, it becomes real. It's like affirmations. And also it's putting yourself out there, isn't it? It's like if I tell everybody I'm on a diet, then they see
They're
me
going to try and
eating,
hold you
they're going to hold me
accountable.
accountable. But
Yeah.
actually, if I'm telling everybody this is great, but I want to be a director here, they're going to hold me accountable. What steps am I taking to do that? So I think you have to put it out there.
And I feel like as women generally, let alone as Muslim women, I do feel like we struggle with that. We struggle with kind of putting our goals out there. We're very humble with what we do, right? Because we have this thing where we feel like people are going to see that we're so great and they're automatically just going to give it to us, right? They're going to be like, oh, your work ethic is amazing. Hey, we're going to bump you up. But in the real world, it's not like that, is it?
It's not like that. And also, people will go, oh, this is great. Why don't you do this? But they won't pay you for it. Or this is
Exactly.
great. Why don't you step up for a little bit? But you won't. You have to claim what's yours and you have to speak up, which is hard. I don't know the tools in terms of how you find your voice because there are going to be women who don't have that and they can't say it. And there's got to be things out there that we can help them with. But I don't know. I think sometimes when you take so many knocks in life, you get fed up. I feel like I speak for not just myself, but I'm constantly speaking for other women. And I guess we need more of that. If you see somebody who's struggling, speak for them, help them find their voice.
Advocate for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There was a funny story you were telling me when we were chatting.
Lots of funny stories.
It was about you in your field. You went into a building. So basically being a Muslim woman in your field and being quite high up and there's not so many people in that. You were talking about going into somewhere and
This happens to me a lot. I don't know, maybe it's just, I don't know. There's a couple of things. So yeah, this has happened to me in two different boroughs, one outer London and one right in the heart of London. So alhamdulillah, I hold quite a senior position. I've worked really hard for it. And normally, so we'll go back to the first one. I remember because it was two different things, and I'll even admit why I was there. So I walked into this building, and I was actually I was attending. So I'm embarrassed by this, but I was going to Weight Watchers. But they said to me, as soon as I walked in, she said to me, "You need to go down the corridor. The ESOL class is down the corridor." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Hold on, I don't need ESOL." But she looked at me and assumed. I mean, it's a good thing. At least I didn't look fat, right? At least she didn't say, "Wait, watch us down the
I
corridor."
can't.
She said, "You need to go to ESOL." And I was like, "No, no, I'm not here for ESOL." But instantly, by looking at me, she just assumed that I was just another person who couldn't speak English. And this has happened again. I took over another borough, and part of that comes with buildings. Like, you have staff in certain buildings and management. And I walked in, and this time, she didn't point me to ESOL, but she said, "You need to go down the corridor." So I was like, okay. Maybe she wants me to see something. Maybe that's where the manager's office is. I went down the corridor, and I opened the door, and there was a bunch of elderly women, Moroccan women, mashallah, lovely women, my mum's age, reading Quran. So it was a Quran class. So again, she just looked at me.
She
and
saw the
assumed,
hijab.
Yeah, she just thought, I'm here to learn Quran. I mean, I don't know, maybe she could tell that it's not perfect. Who knows? But again, there's that whole thing about the way I look. And so this is in the day job. And in travel, this happens all the time as well.
Okay.
In travel, people assume that, we don't have, I'm not here to make some of those big decisions. I'm not here to kind of make those choices for women. Like, I run group travel. Like, we've got women who have got, money, who are looking to kind of spend this disposable income. But again, generally, they just think that we want a certain thing a certain way. Or, I guess they don't think we want nice things. We just want the bare basics. These are Muslim women who, this is what they want. And also it's the definition of halal. So when we talk about things being halal friendly, everyone just thinks it's
That's
about,
what we want to know, yeah.
It's just about food. Being halal friendly is more than food. We still get offered, "Oh, why don't you come on a winery course or go watch?" Really? Like, you haven't figured out that Muslims and alcohol don't go together? And then people think halal is just excluding pork. And I'm just so surprised by this, that still to this day and age, that we're coming across these things, especially in travel, where you're supposed to be a lot more inclusive. You're supposed to be trained up. You're supposed to be learning. We still get offered, alcoholic drinks all the time, which just surprises me. So, yeah, I don't know what it is.
How did you start your travel group? I remember you did say that at the beginning, where you enjoyed traveling.
I do enjoy traveling, alhamdulillah. So like I said, I've been really fortunate. I've always been able to travel.
Were your parents travelers?
No.
No?
No. Well,
did you grow up traveling or anything like that, or no?
No, I guess my dad was always someone who took us So, like, I don't know what Eid looked like for everybody else, but he'd pile us all in the car and we'd go to Chessington.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
You're like a Somali. We don't spend Eid at home. Yeah, we don't spend Eid at home.
100%
Like,
I'm Somali.
I grew up in Park Royal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would, every Eid would be going to the cinema or going to a theme park, or we do activities. We don't do the whole house from house
I
thing.
love that.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody else that did that. I thought it was
Our
just
community
us.
do that hard.
So my dad was obviously chatting to some Somalis.
He must have been.
He was like, but I'm one of 6, right? So who wants 6 kids rocking up at their house?
Right.
Yeah, 6 kids and their dog. And so he would just pile us in the car and he would take us places. So I guess we always saw things like that.
Amazing.
As I got older, I travelled with my sisters. It was just the easiest thing to do, right? You travel with your sisters, you all go have a nice time. And then I guess what really ignited the fire in terms of this is how the travel business came about was this is a whole nother story. I accidentally came across so I had one of those cars, back in the day when the radio you turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Turn the dial.
Turn the dial.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
yes,
like a little
yes.
Fiesta. So when I say back in the days, we're only talking about maybe 2009?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2009, 2010?
20-something.
Yeah. So I'm turning the dial, trying to get to the radio, obviously some halal radio. And then the traffic lights change. The traffic lights change. And I heard some ad going, "Do you want to travel to the ends of the earth? And are you into traveling and filming and photography?" And I thought of a friend and I thought, oh gosh, this is really good. And I don't know what radio station I was on, but I took the details down. So I said to her, "Listen, you're into photography. This would be great. Enter this." I kept harassing her and she didn't enter. And I got fed up and I just entered it. And I guess maybe they took me on, it was to do with the BBC. Maybe they took me on as, being the token brown girl. Who knows?
Who knows?
But I didn't mind. I got paid for it. I had the best adventure of my life. We travelled pretty much most of Africa. I think I counted.
Wait.
Mhm.
So we were in the fiesta listening on the radio. Friend refused to take the
She
opportunity.
did.
You put yourself forward.
I
What was
did.
the opportunity? They wanted you
They
to do what?
wanted people who were interested in filmmaking to travel with the guys that make Planet Earth and things
Oh,
like that to
wow.
document wildlife across Africa. So it was going to be like an apprentice style TV show, and there'd be like 10 contestants, and each week they
That
knock
is
somebody off.
incredible.
No, it is pretty incredible. I think about 80,000 people applied for it, and there was like 10 of us that got selected, and it was pretty whirlwind. From like one day I was going to like all these auditions to next minute, you've got your seat packed and you're flying out to like South Africa. We started in Joburg, and then we kind of went. So am I jumping? Am I?
No, you're not. I'm just loving this because I'm like, what do you mean? You just applied for something and now you're traveling the whole of Africa.
Yeah, but I had to film, so we were filming wildlife, which
So
is fun.
wait. Were you in shot? So were you actually holding the camera or were you in front of the camera?
No, holding the camera.
Okay.
So
And they trained you for that?
they did, but we were working with lots of like top end kind of cameramen and
Okay.
producers and directors, but also it was around our survival skills in the wild. So if any of you have seen it, you'll see that they portrayed me as
What's it called?
No, I can't tell you.
No, you can't.
No, I can't tell you.
Sorry, you have to tell us.
If anyone can figure out my surname and then run a Google search, they can find it.
Class.
Right. But so that happened, and basically that opened up my eyes to travel in a different way.
So how many places did you go? You started off in South Africa.
From South Africa, we did Cape Town. From Cape Town, we went to Botswana. We did Mon. We did the Okavango Delta. We went to Namibia. It just
Wow.
didn't stop. There was so much. I remember counting about 30 flights. So remember, in Africa,
You
some
do
of
the
those
little
flights
chartered
are,
ones.
yeah. And I remember I actually got quite tired.
That
It
sounds
wasn't the
draining.
travel and it wasn't the flights. I got tired of the film crew. I got tired of them because they were trying to get a story, right? Because that's how TV works.
So you had
yeah?
to be on.
All the time. So they were like, what do you think of so and so? And that's what I kind of got tired of, because I was
Okay.
like, she's all right, everything's wonderful, like everything is great. I don't actually have much bad to say about anyone, but everyone I was traveling with was pretty much the same, which is why that TV show probably didn't make it like a huge hit,
Because you
because
guys were all kind.
we were all nice to each
Yeah,
other, and
you
we were
guys were
actually
too
having
nice.
the best time ever, and we're all still in touch. So we all liked each other and we had the best time. But that opened my eyes to travel. Prior to that, my travel was, a 5-star resort in Dubai, all inclusive. And that's the kind of thing that we would do regularly. It was nice, it was fun. We'd go to a water park.
Yeah.
But actually traveling across the plains of Africa,
Wow.
whole different world.
Oh, that is incredible. I can see it now. So that was your bug.
Well, that opened my eyes to travel. So when I came back home, I was like, actually, I need a space where I can talk to people about what I'm doing and where they've been, because actually they will know more than me. But also, I think I had just started wearing the hijab. And for me, now travel was a lot different because I'm visibly Muslim. So that makes me feel a little bit vulnerable, especially when you're a new hijabi. It takes a while to own that.
So true.
So when you're a new hijabi, one, you've got to manage 75 safety pins, right? And all like your tiny little pins. And then on top of that, like you have like this, I don't know what it's like other women, but also you don't know what to wear anymore.
Yeah.
So all your clothes go out the,
So true.
yeah. And I remember wearing like humongous skirts and like huge, like bizarre clothing.
Because you're finding yourself again, right? Because there was one where you were used to dress and everything, but now it's like, yeah, you're literally fighting. You have to sort out a whole new wardrobe.
So, yeah, and that's what I was doing. I was looking for a space, and I set up a Facebook group specifically for travel, because there was lots of Facebook groups, but I wanted just to talk about travel, and I wanted to know, actually, has anyone been to, when you go to Egypt by yourself, what happens? Is it okay? Is it safe? How do they react to you? But not so much Muslim countries, but actually, if I go to Sierra Leone, what's it like? How many Muslims are there? Can I access halal food easily? If I go to,
true.
it also opens your eyes to how many countries, especially when you've been shied away from that, how many countries are Muslim that you didn't know about.
didn't know
and
about.
This is before, you remember, internet and social media. So the Facebook group, because Facebook was cool back then, right?
It was.
It was cool. So that kind of grew naturally into this fantastic community of women that was talking to one another. And then I think I remember putting on there something like, I'm going to Northern Ireland. I'm going to do the giant causeway and the coastal, drive. And somebody went, oh, can I come? Which I thought was a bit bizarre. I was like, yeah, come. Another said,
I think that's the cool thing about the internet, isn't it?
yeah, no, she's like, can I come? I was like, yeah, come. Listen, I have no issues. Everybody come. And I remember, so it was very different. Literally, I just told them where I was staying. And I said, listen, I'll happily, lead on this. I'll meet you all there. And we stayed at the Belfast Hotel. And I think when I got there was like 16 odd women waiting for me,
What?
which I just thought was insane. Like they just never met me. They had put their full faith and trust in me and were waiting for me. And I was like, right, cool, let's have a good time. And we really did.
And it just shows though, doesn't it, that women, we kind of gravitate towards each other. So that's amazing.
No, definitely. And I guess that built something. It started building credibility. And then we did lots and lots of meetups up and down the UK. We'd do like, Birmingham, Manchester, Scotland. And it was a nice way of women to come together. And we'd spend the day together. Literally, we'd just explore the city. So you'd be a tourist in your own city. We did loads in London where we would just explore London together. And then I was like, you know what, actually, I need to take this to the next step. I'm going to make this international. So I'm going to give up my job and I'm going to put all my effort into group travel. And I didn't really know what group travel was. I didn't know companies like Your Intrepid and G Adventures and all of these things existed. Because if they did, if I knew, I would have just copied their model.
Yeah.
But I was like, I wasn't just like really clever. I was like, yay, group travel. No one's done this before. So I literally set up the company and I was like, right, let's do this. And we're going to go to Sharm el Sheikh, nice and easy, nice and cheap. So this was I set up the company in 2019.
Okay.
We were doing it unofficially from 2014, 15.
Oh, wow.
So a long time unofficially. The other thing was actually, I got married and my husband couldn't understand why you're just going with like strangers. He was like, what is this nonsense? Like you just meet women off the internet? And I was like, no.
So I know them.
No. So then I did what most good wives do. I lied and I said, what are you talking about? This is business. I'm making money. And I wasn't making money in the slightest. I was doing everything just through the kindness of my heart, and I was doing all of this organisation, taking on sole responsibility, but he couldn't understand what I was doing. So I was like, no, this is a business. So again, really quickly, I had to register a company.
So you literally spoke that into existence. Your husband scared you into
starting your company? I thought he's going to stop me from, doing what I like. So if I tell him it's a company and I'm making money, then he'll be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So I set up a company 2019. I handed my notice in at work and I thought, you know what? 2020, I'm going to put on these fantastic trips. And I put on 6 trips. The first one was Sharm el Sheikh and it was end of Feb, March.
Okay, so before COVID hit.
We were in Sharm el Sheikh when the news of all the airports were closing.
No.
And actually that's an adventure in itself. So we'd spent the day out. We'd hired out the yacht for the whole day. So we're going to go snorkeling. We're going to spend the day.
How many ladies did you take on your first official trip to Sharm?
I think there was about between 12 and 15 of us. I think there was supposed to be more. And actually there was a couple of women one was coming from Paris, one was coming, but they weren't allowed to board. That pandemic was just sort of kicking off. And a lot of people, it was just like they couldn't get on their flight, things were happening. But some of us did make it. I think either 10 or 12 of us made it. And anyway, we're having the time of our life. Everything's great. One of my friends who was on the trip with me, she didn't come on the yacht with us. She'd spent the day doing her own stuff. She's a huge shopper. And then when we met in the evening, like she was in tears. She said, like, the airports are closed. I got a notification that flights are cancelled.
Oh my.
And I was like, it's not that big a deal. Like, it's not that deep. We're going to figure this out. I got onto the phone to another friend who's in the travel industry, Hafsa, who wasn't actually a very good friend then, but she's an amazing friend. I said, listen, our flights have been cancelled. Can you book us another one? She's like, I got you. So she booked us another flight. So I was like, listen, it's all great. We're all going to get out of here.
You're just a problem
Everything's
solver,
wonderful.
aren't you?
Well, that night, our flights got cancelled again. So basically, at the time, there were no direct flights. We were going through Turkey. Turkey had already closed its airports. So I was like, it ain't that deep. Like, it's going to be okay. I picked up the phone because every so often you still need your husband to kind of like, you need a voice, right?
100%.
So I was like, listen, I don't think I'm going to make it home. And he was like, it's not a big deal. When he said it's not a big deal, like maybe he was happy. I was so relaxed that it's not a big deal. And all the Egyptians were telling us, like, just stay, you're our guest. A few of them were mums. And because they
I was about to say, it might be fine for you.
Yeah. Because they were mums, I was like, okay, we need to get these guys home,
Yeah.
you know? And actually, we stayed up that night. And I think there was like, in the lobby, we were like on our phones with our laptops. It was a case of get any flight and get out of Cairo. At that point, Egypt had also announced, like, I think it was like a Tuesday, they had said on Thursday, 12 o'clock, they're closing their airports. So like now there was this mad dash to get out of Egypt. nothing was leaving Sharm. So we got one of those night buses that travels through the night.
Wow.
Then we literally, it was like a comedy sketch. I saw people on the runway, literally people were running with their bags.
Oh my God.
I mean, we can laugh about it now, but actually we were quite frightened. But we also weren't sure, what was this pandemic that's going to happen. But we did, alhamdulillah, all of us managed to get out of Egypt. And we're actually so glad we did, because then the whole world went into lockdown.
Literally.
But yeah,
Oh,
that was our
wow.
first trip. And then everything after that was cancelled.
See, I would trust you. After that, if I went on that trip with you then, I'd be like, no, Sadia knows what she's doing. She's going to fix it.
I don't know whether this comes from being middle child, but I think we're very good fixers. We're very good at
We're good under pressure.
Yeah, I'm very good under pressure,
Yeah,
actually.
me too.
And I'm probably very, very relaxed until things go wrong. And I'm like, hey, don't worry, this is what we're going to do. I mean, we went to Jordan. Well, we were in Iran, actually, when the whole 7/7, was it 7/7? 7 October?
Oh, yeah, the one that happened here, right? 7/7.
No, not 7/7.
9/11?
No, not 9/11.
I was about
No,
to
no,
say,
no,
we
no,
were
no.
in school.
When they went back into Palestine.
Oh,
So,
okay,
and then
okay,
Iran, there
okay.
was like a response
Okay,
and stuff.
yes.
And I was like, what's the worst that's going to happen?
That was recently, no?
Yeah, that was recently when we were in Iran.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what's the worst that's going to happen? We'll just head to the mountains, you know?
I love it.
We'll head to the mountains, like the penguin. But also, again, I'm in the background. I'm like constantly thinking, actually, what can we do? And
Was
Iran,
that 2025?
2024 or
20
3?
Well, okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, but no, I know what
so
you're talking
I guess
about.
the
Yeah.
genocide's been in the most recent genocide's been in place for what? Nearly 2.5 years, 3
a bit
years.
more. I think 2021 it started.
Yeah,
Did
it
it
doesn't
not? If
stop.
I'd-
I mean,
it
it doesn't stop, right?
subhanallah,
It
it's
doesn't
not.
stop.
Yeah.
But I was like, actually, what's the worst that's going to happen? I've always got a backup plan. So I was like, from Iran, we're just going to Pakistan. It's going to be fine.
As you
know?
do.
And I was like, we'll sort something out. But alhamdulillah, we were fine. We were in Kosovo and like a bit of a civil
How
unrest.
many places have you been to? I know you're the travel babe.
Yeah. No, alhamdulillah.
But mashallah, I love me a bit of travel, and so does Ebian. Like, she's a proper tourist. Like, she's no. We traveled to Malaysia together, and my God, yeah.
Well, tell me, what's been your favourite country?
Okay, so my favorite country of all time is actually Kenya for me.
Yeah.
Love Kenya.
I love Kenya.
And I had the pleasure of going to Malaysia last year. Fell in love. Yeah, fell in love. So those two.
Okay. But what made it special for you?
Kenya, what made it special for me is I just love the Kenyan people. There's a lot of my people there, Somali people, and they're kind. It's nice. You get a bit of everything. That's what I like about Kenya. You get the whole animals, you get the beach, it's just beautiful.
And food is good.
Everything is good around there. So I love me a bit of Kenya. Malaysia, what I loved about it is that the people are so chilled and respectful. Again, everything's halal.
Yeah.
You can travel within it. People are kind. And I didn't expect Malaysia to be so built up.
Yeah.
Like I knew it was going to be built up, but no, it felt like I was in London. Like it's beautiful. It's built up. It's nice. It runs smoothly. Their transport's amazing. And you can pop to so many different other countries from there as well. Yeah. So love that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not actually as well traveled as people think I am.
Okay.
Yeah. I run a travel company, but I'm also, remember I work and I have family. I have elderly parents. I've got quite a lot of commitments which hold me back. But that's why when I do travel, I'm constantly making sure that I'm looking out for actually my next group lead. Because you can always spot a leader. So a lot of the women who travel with me then go on to become my group leaders, and then they will lead on the trips.
Amazing.
So alhamdulillah, I think I've done about maybe 40 odd countries.
Where's your favorite?
My favorite. So I'm hoping to take the group there this year. My favorite is actually Botswana.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the first time I experienced Africa outside of like Morocco.
That's where Prince Harry likes to go, isn't it?
Yeah, Botswana.
Isn't
And
it?
because of him, he's made the country really expensive,
Okay.
which is so frustrating because I want to be able to take the group to see the big five. But it's so green. It's so lush. And again, the people is what makes, I think, the travel, which is why I asked you what it is. It's the people of those countries who are
Agreed.
just so beautiful. So sometimes they have so much, so little, whatever it is, but it's just in their nature.
So true.
And they would just make every single experience so beautiful because they're so kind, so hospitable. So yeah, and I really enjoyed Botswana, and I want to take people back there.
Oh, amazing.
But I just can't get that price right at the moment. We're looking at around the 4K mark. But the reason it's so expensive is, I guess,
4K. Sorry, it's stressing me out. You're
I
giving me a
know.
high 4K.
I know.
For how long?
We're going to go for about 9 to 10 days, but we're
Okay.
gonna add on Zambia and go see Victoria Falls,
Oh,
because how can you not go that
wow.
far and not see Victoria Falls? But if you think about like
No,
Kenya,
when I think of exactly,
yeah,
just our flights alone
yeah.
are starting from 700. So,
But saying that, those that want to pay will pay,
Mhm.
because we just did a trip to Antarctica, which is epic in itself.
No, but it was who came up with that? Who said, yeah, let's go to Antarctica? Like,
where does that come?
what?
Where does that come
What?
from? No, I want to say that this was all my idea, but it's not. Somebody, she's also now a friend of mine.
Okay.
She worked for a fantastic company that does these cruises, and she proposed to them. Imagine doing a halal version of catering for Muslims, because the reason they were talking about the kind of audience that goes out to Antarctica, and it's all again kind of your white privileged middle-aged people that are traveling out there. And I guess what would make it appealing to us, actually, imagine having a dry ship, imagine having halal food on board. Food is such a huge part of travel.
Massive.
So alhamdulillah, she put all these motions in place, and then I guess they put this out to the world. It wasn't just to the Muslim Women Travel Group. They put this out to the world. They kind of said, listen, we're going to have a halal expedition. Who's going to jump on board? So I definitely was going to support that. If someone's going to go, especially a non-Muslim is going to go out their way to try to put on an expedition that is going to cater for the Muslims' need, then of course we're going to support that. So the ship... well, it started off 100% dry, but I think they had to make some changes. There was definitely halal food, but they also took into consideration like women only hours for the sauna, the gym, the jacuzzi. And actually something remarkable happened on this trip. It was probably the first time Jummah has actually ever been prayed in the Antarctica, because they were able to there was enough Muslims on board to have that community to kind of go, actually, can somebody do the adhan? Can someone do khutbah? Can we get, together? So yeah, there's some fantastic pictures
Was
of
the
that.
Antarctica one, well, that was with your travel group, so it was ladies only?
So the
ship was opened up to everybody.
But the group was women only. Yeah, I only deal with women.
And they catered to you guys on the ship as well. As you said, they did the whole ladies only sauna and all of that.
They were so...
You guys did a Jummah in Antarctica.
They did the Jummah. I mean, I should give out a special shout out to Amira. She runs her own travel company. She led this expedition for me. So like I said, we're always looking for group leads who can lead. And I'm always open to kind of people leading our trips.
And she has her own travel company.
She actually has her own travel company.
Oh, wow. So you are open to working with people.
I'm not threatened by anybody, alhamdulillah. And you know what? There's enough travellers, and also there's enough money, and what's meant for me will never miss me.
Nice.
And if using another travel company or using somebody in the same industry as me elevates them and makes them so much more successful, that was always theirs.
It doesn't take away from you.
It doesn't, but it was always theirs.
Exactly.
It was never mine. It was always theirs. So no, alhamdulillah. And I have no issues working with anybody. Honestly, I'm pretty chilled.
Wow.
I'm a lot older. You know what? I think when you get to a certain age, you are a lot more chilled. Like there's not a lot that phases me. Like,
no, I don't think it's your age. I think it's just your personality.
No, I think it's age.
You think so? I think age softens us up.
Yeah.
Right. But I feel like all of these traits were always in you. Do you know? Because you can't be this. Do you know what I mean? You can't have this abundance mindset. Like, of course you can change, but I truly feel like that was in you. You were always a go-getter. You were always somebody that spoke up. You were always somebody that was willing to share.
I didn't
am I just assuming?
No.
Tell me.
Those things are right, but I wasn't someone that always spoke up.
Okay.
No, I think that comes from sometimes when I'm trying to think about myself. I think, when you can't stand seeing oppression or cruelty, and when it happens to you, you can take it and you stay quiet.
When it happens to others,
but when it happens to people you love and it happens around you, you're more vocal, and it makes you angry, and you are forced to speak up. You can do whatever you want to me, and I'll be like, hey, it's okay. Like, I don't mind. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, if you owe me money, khair, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't, anything you do to me, I'm all right. But when you do it to people you love, and I think there's something that wakens inside you. So, like,
you're kind of an advocate.
Yeah. So I didn't set out to be an advocate, but I guess I end up speaking. So yeah, that I think happens with knocks and hardships. Or alhamdulillah, it depends on your upbringing. Maybe you are taught to be really vocal and make your own choices, etc. But I was a very shy child. I was a middle child. Remember, no one knew I existed.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, I was a noisy middle child.
Oh, were you?
Oh my God, you knew I existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you all girls, boys? Were you mixed with?
No, mixed. So there's 3 boys and 2 girls.
Yeah.
I was the eldest girl.
Okay.
So, but I was not a quiet middle child.
Yeah. I was super quiet.
Was you?
Really quiet. Like, if you spoke to me, I'd start crying because I was like shy.
With you,
I promise you,
Sadia.
if you spoke to me, I'd start crying because I'd get embarrassed. I was a really, really shy child. Really
Oh,
shy.
you don't come across like that.
I'm still shy.
Wow.
I'm shy now.
We say, don't look at me. Don't
I
look at
don't. I don't like anybody looking at me. Hold on. Let's put that down. Yeah, I am shy. I'm still shy. I don't like. I do things because I have to, and I guess I have that platform. So look, I lead with passion.
Go on.
I lead with conviction, and I lead to make sure that that part's not fake. You know, I can take care of all of that. But if in my role, in my day job, I'm forever doing presentations and speaking to a room full of people, and those things I don't have an issue. I can go speak and stand. But if you put me, I don't know, like the idea of, like weddings. So I didn't have like a wedding where you sit on the stage.
Okay.
That is like my nightmare. Like imagine just sitting on a stage.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there and everyone's
Yeah.
looking at me. Why?
I hate that part of the wedding.
That's just bonkers. Like you're all
Yeah.
just looking at me. Like get on with your business. Like that for me, I'd be embarrassed by that. Like if you asked me to model or walk down a stage, I'd be embarrassed. There's no way.
So you don't like the whole eyes on you?
I don't
kind of
like
thing,
that.
yeah.
But if it's work, it's different. Or if I'm sticking up for someone or I'm presenting, like those things are different. But I think where you put, this is why I'm not an influencer or a content creator. There you go. Because I'm embarrassed. I get shy. Otherwise, I'd be like, hey guys, follow my YouTube channel, like and subscribe. I'm sorry. I know there's more to it than that. I'm sorry. Because that's like the old school, the beginning. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No.
For
There's
those
a
that
lot
do
of work that goes into it.
For those that do content creating, it's come a long way, and they look good and they do a good job.
No, they
and
do.
yeah, I'm sorry. That's not true. That's not. But that's
We're trying to be like you.
Yeah. No, I want to be you. I want free stuff. Like Huda, when's Huda going to invite me?
Babes, we need Huda. Shout out to Huda. Huda Beauty, sponsor us. Give us some stuff, please.
Tell us if our makeup's good.
Even if it's not, fix us.
Absolutely.
How about that? How about give us the
Absolutely.
makeup to fix our makeup? How about that?
100%.
But that's amazing. So do you feel like your day job, as in being able to manage and delegate and do all of these things, do you think that's helped you in your travel?
Absolutely. People look to you for leadership. People look to you for answers when things aren't going. And I guess the day job, it's so sensitive. Sometimes you're making humongous decisions, life-changing decisions, and you need to really think about that, not just from a safeguarding element, but again, you're messing with people's lives, or your words can influence someone's outcome. So absolutely. So I think about that all the time. And that does work in travel as well. There's women who have never traveled, and they're looking to you for leadership and support. And then there's those who are really well traveled, but actually they want to put their faith in you this particular time. They don't want to think about it. So definitely those are transferable skills. And I think that leadership has definitely come from that. I also then train my group leads. So I want them to be able to have the kind of same mindset and responsibility and be problem solvers. And alhamdulillah, we have that. We've had incidents where people have been on trips and they go, not to alarm you, Sadia, but so-and-so's just had a slight accident, or someone's been bit by a bee, and now they're now in, having like anaphylactic shock. And I'm like, okay, do you know what to do? And they'll be like, yes. And they've kind of problem solved, or they'll go, I just want to give you an update. This happened today. Everything is fine. It's under control. And those things happen. You could travel without my group and you're going to have an incident, and it's how you react to it.
Yeah.
So the leaders also are awesome. And again, the group travel wouldn't be in existence and wouldn't be doing so well if I didn't have such amazing group leads. And actually, while I'm here, I'm always looking for new group leads.
I was about to say, how does one become a group lead?
So ideally, you want to have traveled with us because that helps me spot you.
Yeah.
But saying that, there's two particular people who never traveled with me, but I could just see that they were leaders and they were amazing. One is out in Sri Lanka at the moment. One just did Thailand, and she's going to be doing Peru. They never traveled with me personally, but we did a whole weekend of group lead training, and I spent a lot of time with them. And
so you actually train them?
Yeah, I guess. Look, if I said to somebody, hey, I've got a group lead position, I'll get like 7 million applications because everyone thinks it's just a free holiday. It really isn't. Being a group lead is hard.
It's a big amana. It's a big trust. It is.
And being a group lead is hard. You don't get to rest. Also,
you've got to be switched on all the time.
There's this, absolutely. And I feel there's this higher expectation on Muslim businesses, Muslim companies. If when Intrepid or G Adventures or whoever you go with put you in like a 3-star hostel, you're going to be like, yay, I'm with Intrepid. But when the Muslim Women Travel Group put you in a 5-star hotel and it took 5 minutes for the iron to come upstairs, you're angry. But there's this expectation on Muslim women or Muslim-owned businesses is so much more higher, I find, anyway.
I know, I can agree.
I think the expectation for you to do so much more, and people are, alhamdulillah, majority of the time people are happy, but sometimes some of the upsets, I just think,
Is it really an upset?
Yeah, is it really an upset? And also, we're human. We're going to make mistakes. We try our utmost best. Honestly, I don't want anyone to have paid for a service and leave unhappy. I want to do my utmost best to make sure you are happy, that you were sold what you were given and it exceeded your expectations. But sometimes we don't always. But that's not because of our. Sometimes it's beyond our control. It doesn't matter how many times you talk to somebody in Peru. The first time we ever went, they made them pack lunches to go, breakfast boxes.
Nice.
Getting pork sandwiches.
Accident.
Alhamdulillah, the group was not faced by this. They were like, "It's a mistake." They get it, but actually, like I said, those things are not in our control. We have done training, we have done emails, we have spoke to people individually. Things go wrong. We've had an incident where somebody missed a certain excursion because of something or another happened. Everything is timely, isn't it? We can't go back in time and fix things. We can fix it in that moment. We will say that's what the group lead's there for. We will help you in that moment. But yeah, generally, sometimes these things happen. But the expectation on Muslim women, I just feel like, is so much higher. I feel like those that travel with us, the expectation, apart from the regulars, because I have some amazing regulars, but sometimes when someone's coming new, the expectation is so much more higher than it would be with anybody else. And I don't know what that is. I wish you guys would stop it. Like,
just behave yourselves.
Yeah, we are doing the best we possibly can. And also, we're in this together, right?
Yeah.
We're in this together.
I think that's what it is. So what can one expect if we went on one of your trips? Why would we choose Muslim women travel group?
There are some amazing travel groups out there, non-Muslims. And Muslim. So we are. I need to stress this because this is actually important. We were one of the first. We paved the way. We do. Thank you. We do a lot of work with things like World Travel Markets, Women in Travel.
You work real hard, Sadia.
Thank you.
All of these travel events.
But it's also just paving the way to make travel easier. So whether you travel with us or you travel on your own, it's just making sure people recognise, like, when you look at us, we are Muslims. How hard is it to get that wrong? But I guess what you can expect from us is, hopefully, from the moment you book, we take care of you. We make sure that you know where you're flying from, where you're coming back from. We're supporting you with booking flights if you don't know how to do that. From when you arrive is when we really take care of you. So let's just say you've arrived, I don't know, we'll go to Kenya. You've arrived in Kenya.
Please take us, yes.
We're going to make sure you're picked up. We're going to make sure you're greeted. You're going to get taken to your hotel. You're going to be in a nice hotel.
So that's from the airport?
From Kenya Airport. So
from Kenya Airport. So because you guys have ladies coming from all over the world. I picked up France. I picked up somewhere else. So you guys literally have everyone coming.
So we don't take it. So we're land travel. So from the moment you arrive into the country. So we look after you, because we do have women from all over the world, from the US, from Canada, from the Middle East, all over Europe.
Sadia, do they book their own ticket to that country? So you take over from when you've gotten yourselves there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So you've landed in Nairobi. There's going to be an MWTG representative who's going to be there. Either you're going to meet the group at the airport, or there's going to be somebody there if you've come by yourself. We're going to whisk you to your hotel. So from that moment, we're kind of really looking after you. We only ever stay in 4 or 5 star hotels, or kind of villas, or like your sort of bougie hotels, guest houses. We like nice things, right?
Great.
We just aren't that millionaire level, but we like nice things.
But we can still have nice things.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
So depending on the trip, most times your food's taken care of, all your excursions, everything is planned for you. So all you have to do is wake up and look pretty. If you want to. If you don't want to look pretty, just come with your smile. Your smile is pretty enough.
If say for instance, now you've organised a few things that day, right? We've got excursions planned, we've got things planned. What if I didn't want to join you? You
don't have to.
Okay, nice.
You've paid for that service. If you want to sleep all day, that's entirely up to you. However, sometimes we're moving. If we're moving, if we move, you move.
We're moving. Okay.
We move, you move. Okay. If we're getting the train like we did, we're in Nairobi. We're going to get the train to Mombasa. You can't sleep in that day.
Of course.
You need to get on the train with us. You need to get on the train with us. But it depends. Some trips we are in one place. We're in Sri Lanka at the moment. We are moving every day, which is a lot. But actually, how often are you going to go to Sri Lanka? You want to see everything, right?
See, that's an Ebian kind of trip. Ebian would love that. Yeah. The whole moving and seeing something new and excursions and whatnot. She really likes to immerse herself. Yeah. Me, show me 2 things and I'm happy.
Are you done?
I'm
so
happy.
We've done those trips as well. I mean, it's really funny. We did a trip to Qatar and we stayed in one place. And I'm not a shopper. I don't enjoy shopping.
If I can do a lap, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm not lying to you. I think every single day of that trip, I had put in shopping times. And when I got the feedback, people wrote, wasn't enough shopping. So you can't please everybody, right?
Yeah.
But we also have those where we stay in one place. It's a lot more relaxed. We might just do
Nice.
one excursion a day. But there's some which are jam-packed, but you get to see it and you get to choose. You know, it's all written out very black and white. If you go on our website, it's written, this is what's included, this is what's not included.
Okay.
This is what we're going to do on day one. We're going to wake up, we're going to do this, we're going to stop here,
Nice.
we're going to eat here, pray here, etc. It's all planned out. If you don't like it, don't book.
Okay.
But if you like it and go, actually, this is all right. But on this
Yeah.
particular day, you know, when they go to the library, I
I
might
want to
not go.
tweak it and go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, safety is paramount. So it depends on which country you're in, but we'll always say try not to go on your own.
How do you keep them safe? Because why would I choose? Yeah. What makes it halal with us growing together? How do we keep it safe? How do we? Because we're flying without mahram, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a whole conversation here on, I
There
guess,
is,
on
'cause there's
mahrams as well.
Exactly.
But we work with local people on the ground all the time. So whilst we might be very good at planning and organising, etc., no one's going to know the country like a local. So we will make sure, and also we'll also only ever use registered places in that country.
Okay.
So like a country like Jordan, you know, if they, you know, they have their own tourism police and stuff. So if they don't do what they're supposed to do, they're held accountable. But you want to go with a reputable ground agency who are going to help and, you know, become your partners and work with you, who understand your needs, but provide that extra security and support. We've had stuff when things kind of go wrong, but the ground team are our backup. They're our safety. When things kind of go wrong, they'll sort of step in. So yeah, we spend a lot of time making sure we get really good partnerships. We spend a lot of time making those relationships, and relationship making is key with anything. You can find anybody off the internet, right? Or you can
So
rock up to
true.
a resort and go across the road to the person that's selling trips, you know, on the speedboat down to. But making relationships of trust is huge. And I think we spend a lot of time making those relationships, and we use the same people time and time again because we have that relationship and we have that trust. And that's what helps us keep safe. And if we were ever in doubt, actually, our ground team would take care of that. But actually, if we were ever in any kind of situation, we won't do it. We won't put ourselves there. We've had to adjust trips sometimes because something has happened, and we just go, we're not doing it because it just doesn't feel safe, or it doesn't feel right, or you know, something's happened, or there's flooding, etc. We just go, take a detour. This is what we're going to do. So no, we spend a lot of time making sure we've done due diligence in terms of the ground team, but hotels, etc. Whatever we possibly can, as much as we possibly can.
So you joined the Muslim Women Awards this year.
I did.
Yes, you were one of our incredible sponsors, but you also came through with a whole holiday that you teamed up with. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You gifted a holiday teamed with Air Brunei. How did you get that to begin with?
So we have actually stayed away from partnerships, collaborations with the bigger brands, just because we wanted to keep it as authentic as possible and not just be a tick box for them.
Okay.
Royal Brunei are Muslim owned. They're a dry airline. They've won the world's leading, I think, tourism award several times, and for their airline, etc. And I met them at the World Travel Market. By chance, I met the guy who's in charge in London, UK. He's from Zambia. We had some conversations. And actually, we thought this would be quite nice to do together. But I was quite deliberate in terms of what I wanted to do, as opposed to me promoting the airline. Actually, give us something and let's get some organic promotion. Let the women who are traveling with you tell you. So that happened. It was actually about 18 months worth of conversations. It's taken.
I was about to say, we see the end results, didn't we?
Yeah.
18 months.
It took a really, really long time for us to get where we are. And the plan was to give, you know, a bunch of women the experience of group travel. So we do group travel, of course, but travel is expensive and it's a privilege. So this was an opportunity to apply for something and to be able to jump on and, you know, enter a competition. But at the same time, I wanted to be able to give it to a few women that might not have it, again, might not have the opportunity. And obviously, you know, one of your
our Founder's Choice winner.
Yeah. Again, something that's recognizable, but something that's worthy, you know, of them as well. So the plan is that we all fly out. This is going to be happening next week, inshallah. We all fly out. We all fly out to Brunei together, courtesy of Royal Brunei Airlines, but also Brunei Tourism is going to take care of us on the ground.
No way.
Yeah. So they will take care of all our plans, our trips, excursions, our hotels.
You know, Brunei is made of like gold.
Yeah. What's this a card like? No. So I think also what's really important is to show a different side to Brunei. So I think Brunei often gets classified as being a bit of a boring country. And
Mm.
actually, they haven't had a bunch of Muslim women come over and show, I guess, the fun side, but also us to showcase the fun side to the West. Because those that live there
Exactly.
know how great it is, you know?
Yeah.
And those that live around the area know how great it is. But I think those that live in the UK and the US, etc., may not know. So yeah,
Oh, that's
alhamdulillah. We had a
incredible.
long time, a long chat of partnerships. Like I said, I'm open to working with anybody, but I didn't want to go with like those big high-end collab brands where I had to
Mm.
like, come on and show off my coat or show off something for the sake of it because we've got an agreement. I wanted it to be very organic.
Oh, that is incredible. So they're leaving out soon, aren't they? You guys got that trip in February.
We have.
So that's
So about a week to go, inshallah. So
inshallah.
yeah, if you're not already following, then yes, follow the Instagram.
Yes, so
'cause
we
it'll
are
be-
following. So everybody else needs to be following too.
Yeah.
And yeah, we would love we want some feedback from that one.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll plaster that all over our social media, inshallah, to let people know how we got
Inshallah.
on from literally everything we do, eat, sleep. And it should be a lot of fun.
What countries are we going to this year?
Gosh, there are so many. So we came back from Antarctica in January. We're in Sri Lanka at the moment. We go Brunei next week. Then it's Ramadan. There was a Ramadan Jordan trip, which some people have taken up, and some it wasn't a huge promotion. But I guess if you wanted to spend Ramadan in Jordan, we were looking after you.
Jordan's a beautiful country.
Yeah, and especially to spend Ramadan in,
Yeah.
amazing. Gosh, straight after South Korea and Japan. Is that? Yeah, South Korea and Japan. Straight after South Korea and Japan is Peru again.
Wow.
Peru worked really well. We have, and I might get the wrong order, but we've got Mongolia, Oman.
What?
We've got Mongolia, Oman, Jordan. We have a trip coming up which hasn't gone on the website yet. I don't know if can you swim?
I can.
Oh, okay.
I can.
I don't know what it is. I just feel like a lot of South Asian women born in the West can't swim.
Yeah.
So we're doing a swim school in the Maldives. So
I can't swim. I can't swim. Take me.
Come. So it's an opportunity to get a bit more water confidence, feel a little bit more safe in the water. So we'll start off in the pool, then we move to the ocean, but just with your snorkeling and swimming. So that's happening in the Maldives in June, inshallah.
That is incredible.
Yeah, I just figured if we're going to learn a skill, you might as well learn in Maldives, right?
No, I like the way you think.
And Maldives is a Muslim island. Food is halal.
Yes, it is.
So that's happening in June. Our couple of big ones. Botswana, I'm still in talks with. I need to edit that. That will be around, October, November.
Nice.
I'm going to try and get China in. China will be a big one. But China is
See,
so
I would want to do
vast.
shopping in China.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Japan. You should go with an empty suitcase. It's one of those places.
exactly.
Yeah. China's going to be huge. That's hopefully, inshallah, this year. We've got, did I say Mongolia
Wow,
already?
You did.
Just say Mongolia. What
Are we
else?
doing horse riding in Mongolia?
Yes, always. But also they have the camel with the two humps. There's not many places. You'll only ever see camels with one hump. There's a technical term for them.
Oh.
We've done Mongolia before and it was epic. And we do something
So
called...
you guys stay in the yurts?
We do stay in the yurts, but we attend something called the Nadam Festival. So it's like the Olympics for the Mongolians. It's bonkers, but it's also pretty epic. And we go down to the opening ceremony. We always get tickets for everyone to the opening ceremony. So you've got all your archers, your horseback, every possible sports that the Mongolians do. We go to the opening ceremony.
And a lot of their females do that as well,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They compete.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
warriors.
they are.
yeah,
That's incredible.
amazing. So we've got some staples on there, like our Jordans, our Omans, our Japan. But we're going to chuck in, we're going to Singapore and Malaysia. I forgot about that one.
Nice.
Singapore and Malaysia. So typically we do anything between 12 to 24 trips a year,
Okay. Wow.
which is a lot.
That is a lot.
Which is why I
So
always
that's either like one a month or two a month.
Yeah,
Literally.
and we always skip Ramadan because we don't have,
Yeah.
apart from like the Ramadan trip, we don't really do much in Ramadan because it's a nice time to be at home.
to relax.
Yeah,
Oh, that is incredible, Sadia.
thank you.
Yeah. So where can everyone find you?
So we have a website, and the acronym is MWTG. So it's like the MWTG. So www.themwtg.com, which stands for the Muslim Women Travel Group. We're on Insta. Again, the .mwtg. We have a Facebook group, which many people probably don't know about. It's a private group. So you'd have to go looking for it, and then
Okay.
you'd have to kind of apply or
Okay,
like click
nice.
to kind of
Yes.
get membership. That's the private community space. That's more for you to be able to find your own travel people.
Okay.
So if you can afford to travel with us, alhamdulillah. But actually,
if not,
if
you
not,
can
this is a
network
nice
and-
space for you to kind of ask questions about travel,
Mm.
but also find your own community. So we actually have a lot of mums and single mums who say, can I come on this trip and bring my child? The group travel is 18 plus, but actually they've used that group. There's a bunch of mums with like little boys.
And they've teamed out?
They team up.
Oh, wow.
And they've been doing it for several years where they just go on holiday together. They didn't know each
I
other. They
love
use that space
that.
to kind of network and find their own people. Lots of people who are like on their own go, listen, I'm going to Bali, who wants to come? And people just jump on it. Exactly kind of how I started out.
Yeah.
So it gives it's a really nice kind of full circle.
That is beautiful.
And like I said, if you can't travel with us, find your travel people through that platform, which most women are doing, alhamdulillah.
Oh, that is beautiful. I asked you, so we do this every episode. We ask our guest, bringing it back to the MWA nominations, we ask our guests, who would they nominate? You can nominate any category.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone in mind?
There's lots of people in mind.
There are so many.
There are lots of people. And I think the women who are not building brands, there's nothing wrong with building brands. I'm building a brand. But there's lots of women who are doing hardcore community stuff because they're so engrossed in that that they might not necessarily be kind of like on the social media and stuff. And I think actually those women deserve a shout out. And those are the people that we should be kind of shouting out across and getting them up for these awards for that recognition. There's a couple of women who are doing some fantastic work around elderly kind of parents and stuff and like care. There's a lady called Sadia Ahmed who's doing stuff around kind of advocating for like local carers, Muslim carers, but also you're kind of like the Dementia Society, etc. But she's not just doing the groundwork within the community, she's kind of policy changing. But I mean, I can name loads of people. There's like the Empower Network who are doing fantastic work. And again, they are Empower Women Network. And there's a lady called Zainab who's doing some fantastic work in terms of like really bringing women together. And they do like vision boards and stuff. And they do events, but they also do, kind of like that conferences. But I think, and I couldn't nominate you because it's yours and it would seem like a stitch up. But, one of the things I want to say, and I think I said it to you for the first time when I met you, is what you do and Abiyan, what you both do in that room is very, very different to what anybody else does, because there's lots of groups who will do things like maybe for the South Asian community or maybe for the Black sisters, maybe the Somali community. But what you put in that room are Muslim women. And there is every single shade, and I checked and I made sure, the color,
the color chart.
The color chart goes right across. And I would say, and I would put you guys up, if I could, only because you've been doing this for a while. Every single event is so well coordinated. The food is good. Everyone looks beautiful. And I just think actually, you pull together so many remarkable women. There are so many intelligent women in that room on that day doing such fantastic things, and you showcase that and you celebrate that. And I don't think you guys get enough recognition. I don't think there's enough recognition of what you do, but the quality of the women that you have in the room. And like I said, you've done something that nobody else has done, is that you haven't looked at any particular race. You haven't looked at any, particular community. You've pulled together Muslim women. And I would say that, actually, you give yourselves a bloody round of applause.
You know what? Thank you, babe. Yeah.
No, I'd say that you guys do something very, very different. And I know there's plans to expand on this. And I'm really excited to see where this goes. And I won't say too much on here because I know there's tons of plans in the pipeline. And I just think, I'm so excited for it.
But you know what it is like, we need incredible women like you that believe in what we're doing, that see what we're doing. Do you
everybody
know?
in that room believes in you guys.
I know. Do you know what? That's something that didn't happen by accident.
Yeah.
And I know you know that, because building something is not easy. But when it comes to our diversity in the room, that's something we were so passionate about from the beginning, because we wanted to make sure that we showcased Muslim women, not one sector, not a hijabi, not this, not that, just Muslim women. And we're so happy that it's becoming that, and it's become that.
Yeah. And also, this is one of your sponsors, by the way.
Oh, look at that.
And I think it's important she gets a shout out as well, because again, you're doing some amazing things, and for you to have gifted this is so generous.
It's so beautiful. And that's what we love to do as well, is us being able to work with smaller brands and us being able to showcase us as Muslim women. We were so proud that this year we were sponsored 100% by Muslim women businesses.
Amazing.
Do you know? So, Abiyan, what was the company called? Yeah, that's it, Hidayah. Yeah. So shout out to Hidayah.
Shout out to Hidayah, because it's stunning, and it's a very, very generous gift.
And she gave everybody a gift. Everybody got a gift, and we loved that. We loved the interaction that everybody had on the tables as well.
And like I said, if I had a black book of women those women in that room are who I want in my book. You know,
We need to create that black book.
they're the ones I want in my contact list. But like I said, you guys don't get enough credit for it, and then it's difficult because you're pulling together something, and you don't want that recognition. That's not what you're doing it for. But actually, it's pretty awesome, and I just think that needs to be applauded. So
Babes, if it's coming from someone like you, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Hadia, that's what we said. Oh,
should we do that again?
Hadia. Yes, we're shouting out to Hadia. No, put our blooper in there as well.
Yeah.
It's Hadia.
Hadia.
And where can we find her? She's got an Instagram, and you guys, I think it's hadia.com. Oh, I've not seen a .london for a while. Hadia.london, you guys. All right, so I'm going to give you a few questions, and you're going to pick this or that kind of thing.
Okay,
yeah?
this or that.
All right, bismillah. Window seat or aisle seat?
Window.
Window, love it. Overpacker or last minute throw it in the bag?
Last minute, throw it in the bag.
I knew it. Sunrise or sunset?
So sunrise, but this one is important. I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
So everyone loves a sunset, right? But and I don't know where I've seen it, but you're never promised a sunrise.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah, you're never promised another day. So if you're awake that day, you've just got to see the sunrise again, and I think that's the start of such a beautiful day. And actually, when we travel, because we're up for Fajr anyway, right? Most of us, alhamdulillah.
Yes.
So I actually tried to say, look, let's get to the roof, let's go somewhere, let's just see the sunrise, or let's walk down to the beach. So yes, sunrise over sunset any day.
Oh, that's beautiful. I like that now.
Yeah.
I feel like it has more meaning to it now. Sleep on flights or impossible?
Oh no, I sleep. I can sleep
Do you
anywhere.
sleep?
Yeah, I've trained myself. You have to.
I can't sleep on flights, but I feel like I'm learning a little bit, but I can't.
I feel like if I start my content creator journey, I will do like a whole blog on how to put yourself to sleep on a flight.
And you don't take no medication?
Oh yeah, I do. But as much natural as I possibly can. But yeah, you didn't ask me if I take drugs. You said, do I sleep? You said if I sleep. I sleep on flights.
You said you didn't ask me how, but I sleep. Beach holiday or sea exploring?
Oh, 50-50.
Yeah?
Yeah, 50-50.
You like a bit of both?
Yeah, you have to do a bit of both. You can't just do beach and you can't just do city.
No, babe, you have to pick one. Or are you going to a beach city? Are you going to Barcelona? Where are you going?
Well, then let's go with the city because you can fake it, right? Okay. You can't fake a beach.
We sitting at a sea, you could be near a pool.
Yeah.
Okay. So city. Worst travel experience ever? Oh, that's a good one.
I'm laughing because there's probably so many worst travel experiences. I don't want to shout out a whole country. But
who did it to you? Tell us.
No, but I love Turkey. But I don't know what's happened to them lately. I don't know if they're fed up of like tourists. But have you noticed this? People in Turkey, maybe the airport. Maybe let's just go with the airport.
I got robbed in the airport.
Sorry, not the people.
No. It's the airport.
Let's not say the country. It's not the Turkey airport. I don't know what's going on.
No.
Why are
Agreed.
you so mean? You're so mean. You're so. They don't speak to you because they just don't want to.
No.
And I'm not the only one. I promise you. Let's do a survey. Let's do a poll.
No. Listen. I co-sign Turkey.
Yeah.
I love Turkey. I've been to so many different places in Turkey. That airport, Istanbul.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my God.
If we can get a message to them, like, fix up, innit?
A little bit. And don't give anybody your bag at the toilets. I don't know who would. I did.
I was going to say, why would you do that?
Because he told me to give him his bag, the
Okay.
bag. So he was a cleaner guy.
Yeah.
So I've just come. I've just exchanged my money.
Did you see your bag got stolen?
Babes, no. Look at what they did to me. I went to the toilets and then there was a man standing outside of the toilets, but like men, women toilets are there. He's standing in the middle and there's bags next to him. So he said, oh, you need to put your bag here because they're cleaning the toilets. Okay. I saw other bags there. Okay, I left it. Went in, came back out, took my bag. I had the nerve to actually say to him, when I was going in, I said, hey, don't steal from me, yeah? And he's like, no, Went in, came back out, and I said, thank you so much. Took my bag as soon as, because I wanted to buy something straight away. My whole spending money gone. Where's the man? Gone. Police came, everybody came. They were like, oh, there's no cameras there.
I'm really sorry about that. I'm trying not to laugh because I feel like saying you should know better. You should know better.
I know, and that's what I got told so many times. I'm just too trusting.
But when it happens, and it's horrible. And also, it can put a real damper on stuff. But
it didn't for me. But alhamdulillah.
Yeah, you have to just
move.
You have to, so you have to move from that.
Miss your flight or lose your luggage?
Oh Lord, it depends. So if I'm on group travel, just lose the luggage. It's fine. I can't. Okay. But if I'm by myself, Mr. Flight is
Mr.
fine.
Flight,
I'll be
yeah.
okay. I'll just, wherever I am, I'll just stop there and we'll get
And grab a few things.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love that. Hotel breakfast or lie-in?
Oh, no, listen, you've paid all that money. I want that. I want to see that omelette being made in front of me. I want someone to ask me if I want cheese or tomatoes in there. No, breakfast every
You're
time.
catching your breakfast,
100%.
yeah.
I can go back to bed after on a full
So
stomach.
true.
Yeah.
So true. Early flight or night flight?
No, nobody likes flying, by the way. Unless you're in first, no one likes flying, so it makes no difference. I'm not scared of flying. We just don't enjoy it. Who wants to be,
Yeah.
trapped there? We're waiting like sheep
So
for our little
true.
meal, which on a normal day we wouldn't touch, but like these little plastic containers come and we're like so excited about them. Gosh, maybe morning, just so you don't mess with your sleep. Yeah.
I think so, yeah. It would be morning for me just because to be able to sort things out.
Yeah.
Afternoon would be great. So daytime.
Yeah.
Daytime
No,
would be
daytime, I think
fantastic.
so.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, that's it. That's what we're
Okay,
accosting you with.
Good.
Yeah, that's
Thank
it.
you.
Class.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
But again, thank you so much for making the time,
That's
Sadia. Thank you for supporting us.
You're welcome.
And we look forward to seeing your Brunei travel, only because we're kind of involved in that
You
one.
are indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, inshallah.
And inshallah. But now, Sadia, you need to help us for this awards because we can't just give away a holiday one year.
Yeah, about that. Sorry about that. Well, so you know how I've been saying no to these big brands. So maybe Emirates needs to get in touch.
Agreed.
Or Etihad. Maybe they need to get in touch.
Say no more.
If we could get a Q suite, is that what
Yes.
it's called? Obviously, I don't know because I've never travelled on one. If we could get one
No,
of
but
those,
Bible, we want to.
yeah. But I have a quick question for you.
Go on, sure.
Where do you want to go? Where's next for you? Where do you want to go?
Oh,
Should we make a trip happen for you?
do you know what? I would love that. Do you know where I would want to go?
Yeah.
I want to go check out South Africa.
Okay.
I've never been.
I'm going in April.
That's my birthday.
I'm going for the World Travel African Award,
What?
the African Travel Market. Sorry, the African Travel Market. That's what I'm going for. I'm going to Cape Town. I'll do what I
Nice.
can. So when are you free?
Do you know what? April, I'm pretty free,
Okay.
I'm pretty flexible.
Inshallah, we'll see what we could do.
Inshallah. No, that would be amazing. So I would love to go see South Africa. But that's awesome that you get to go there. And you
Yeah.
get to go to a lot of these conventions for work as well,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, Sadia. We can talk all day.
Yeah, we
literally
can.
talk
We
all
probably
day.
need to call it a day.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
But thank you.
Thank you. Speak soon,
But you
inshallah.
guys can catch this episode on our YouTube and also on Spotify. And please do support us on our Instagram and TikTok. But thank you so much for joining us. We had Sadia from Muslim Women Travel Group. Thank you so much.
Thank you.